waarschijnlijk kent van Jaws, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom en E.T., heeft nu als producent zijn stempel gedrukt op een nieuw Hollywoods familieavontuur, Gremlins genaamd. Gremlins, dat wil zoveel zeggen als denkbeeldige, onheilbrengende geesten. In een doorsnee Amerikaans stadje woont een doorsnee Amerikaanse jongen die voor zijn kerst een klein troeteldiertje krijgt, een mogwai. Het beestje is een kruising tussen een pandabeertje en elk knuffelbeest uit ieders jeugd, met een aaibaarheidsfactor van zeker 100. Maar helaas, er zijn 3 dingen die dit kleine topdiertje bij het verzorgen absoluut niet mag hebben, en dat is fel licht. Hij mag niet met water in aanraking komen en hij mag absoluut niet na 12 uur 's nachts gevoed worden. Dus wat gebeurt er? Hij komt in fel licht terecht, hij komt in aanraking met water en hij wordt na 12 uur 's nachts gevoed. Door het in aanraking komen met water verandert ons kleine troeteldiertje in 5, 6 nieuwe troeteldiertjes. Het gaat sneller dan de konijnen. En door de middernachtelijke voeding veranderen deze kleine, lieve diertjes in ware monsters. De ergste monsters bijna ooit bedacht voor de film. Ze veranderen in gremlins. Deze gremlins vloeken, tieren, moorden en brengen alles in de war. En het eens zo vredige Amerikaanse doorsneestadje verandert in een waar slagveld. We laten u kijken naar enkele interviews, onder andere met Steven Spielberg, met de regisseur en met de hoofdrolspeelster. En tussendoor krijgt u enkele fragmenten te zien uit deze familiefilm. Maar niet voordat ik u waarschuw de allerkleinste thuis te laten en het nogal moralistische slot voor lief te nemen.
It's a picture about something that probably could never happen in real life. But we kind of wish parts of this movie would happen to us, and other parts of this movie we hope will never happen to us. And it certainly is not a horror film. It's also not a spoof on a genre. This picture, believe me, you'll never see any of this stuff except in the movie.
It's really scary. I mean, scary to the point of sometimes in the middle of a scene, I'll get so carried away, I'll be just completely freaked out by the end of the scene. First couple of times I worked with the Gremlins, I was so frightened by them, because I tried to stay away from them as much as possible.
Get into the kitchen, the basement, the garage. They'll get into anything. And once they get in, there's a real gremlin in my town! You're in for it. Gremlins, they'll be expecting you. Directed by Joe Dante. Opening at a cinema near you soon.
Leads us nicely on to Spielberg's latest presentation, Gremlins, a marvelous blend of humor, mystery, and some very scary moments which overcomes the quiet, peaceful mid-American town of Kingston Falls as it prepares to celebrate Christmas. And one they'll never forget, I can assure you. Brilly and Gizmo Save the Town brings this very enjoyable movie to its riotous conclusion. Here's what director Joe Dante has to say about it.
What I like in movies especially is things that you are movies that do things that you can't do in real life and show you things that you can't see just by walking out in the street. And there have been a lot of great movies that show you real life as it is lived and should be lived. But my favorite kind of movies are the ones that show you things that you really can't see anywhere but in the movies. And this picture, believe me, you'll never see any of this stuff except in the movies.
This latest presentation from Steven Spielberg contains many of the familiar touches of his past successes. Scary, but a lot of fun.
One, two, three, four, 5 million. Now can I have one?
Oh, I don't know, Pete.
Hey, look, that one's got a cute little stripe on its head. Hi, cutie.
The Gremlins was a script that was written by a young writer named Chris Columbus, who was 21 at the time. And he wrote it as a writing sample. He never really imagined that it would be produced, but it was something that he wanted to do, and he sent it around to various studios, and Steven Spielberg got a hold of it and said, well, you know, I don't know if I want to hire this guy to write anything else. I would rather have him write this. This is pretty interesting. so he sent it to me.
Steven is the producer?
Steven was the executive producer, which I never exactly understood what all these terms mean. The executive producer, as I understand it, is the guy who gets the picture together and gets it made. And if it wasn't for Steven, obviously it's kind of an offbeat movie. And I think that it was really his name being attached to it that got people to say, okay, this is worth the money, let's go ahead and make it.
How much influence did he have on the picture?
As it turned out, he was very interested in the script stages. We worked together on the script, and in the casting, he wanted to make sure that the two kids who were in the leads were good. And then he went away and made his movie. He went away and made Indiana Jones out of the country, and he said, it's your movie, go ahead and make it, and when it's done, show it to me. But I don't want to see it until you're happy with it. I don't want to see the rough cuts. I don't want to see it until you think it's good. And so I don't know, about a year later, we showed it to him, and he reacted like a little kid. He bounced up and down, and he laughed, and he clapped, and he seemed to like it quite a bit. So we were pretty lucky. We got to make the movie the way we wanted. I could tell you to never do a picture with special effects in it because it's just too hard. The special effects in this movie, which were done by Chris Whaley, were incredibly time-consuming, and the whole movie took about 2 years between the time that I first read the script and the time that the movie was released, because the effects are so complicated and have to be planned out so carefully that it sometimes making the movie seems anticlimactic after you've worked on the effects for so long. They have to be designed, and they have to be cast and molded, and then they have to be operated by a lot of different people who are not on the screen, we hope. And it's difficult for the actors because they have to react to things that aren't real, and there are all sorts of people scattered underneath the frame operating things, and you have to sort of be careful you don't trip over them while you're doing the scenes. And it's a very hard kind of movie to make, and I think everybody, when the movie was done, was exhausted. But hopefully you can't tell that on the screen when you watch it. Hopefully it looks like fun.
What are they doing?
They're watching Snow White. And they love it. Where's the boiler room?
It's in the back of the theater.
I think the reason that there are so many of these movies, which is something we try to address in Gremlins, which is an attempt to make an old movie that's a new movie, but still has what was good about old movies, is that because of the economics and the fact that there are cassettes and television, that the people who make movies feel that it's only spectacle that is going to drag people out of their houses and away from their video cassette recorders, that they have to be able to see something now that they can't get on television, and so that we got CinemaScope first, and then we got stereophonic sound, and now we have these big, large presentations, and sometimes movies can become overdone because of it. They can become too big for the stories that they contain, which is too bad. But the alternative is to not have movies in movie houses, to have movies only for home viewing. And as cozy as it is to watch Casablanca for the 11th time at home, it's not the same as seeing Casablanca in a theater with an audience that gets moved when they play La Marseillaise, and the communal experience of seeing a movie in a theater in a dark room with shadows on the screen, to me, is romantic and very moving.